Welcome to ZenTen with Jackie Rose, ZZT of Rejuventangle, and we're on day one of a new week. Let's take a nice deep breath in and out and start to focus on being in the present moment, feeling totally relaxed, letting everything go. And with each breath with your pencil, let's make a dot in each corner of the paper you're using today. You might be using a Zentangle tile, which looks like this. We call it a tile even though it's paper, and this is lovely Italian Fabriano special paper that Zentangle uses. Any sketchbook or paper will do. And with each breath, let's connect those dots. Any type of border is fine. Don't even think about it. We're just connecting the dots, and there's no steady hand, just however you'd like to create your border. And we do it in pencil because eventually it will just disappear. Just gives us some boundaries to work with. And now we're going to draw a string. And first we're going to take the side here and do a nice big arc shape. And a string is just dividing our border into sections so that we don't have to think of how far we're going to tangle in. And now what we're going to do is we're going to draw an arced line from this line all the way down, shooting for that bottom right corner. Doesn't have to be in the corner, doesn't matter where it lands. There's no right or wrong in Zentangle. Whatever you do is just wonderful. And now we're going to draw one more line from this corner up, and I'm keeping it in arced shape there. So as long as you have 4 sections, it really doesn't matter how big each section is or what it looks like. This is just the string that I chose for today. You can put down your pencil and pick up your pen, and I use the Micron 01 Black, recommended by the founders of Zentangle, Rick Roberts and Maria Thomas. And we're going to start with our first pattern of the day, and our only pattern of the day, and each day we do a different pattern. So I think what we'll do, let's start right here in this corner. And the first thing we're going to do is just draw a little line. And it could be slightly curved. And then we're going to aura that line, doubling that up. And now, across this line, we're going to give it kind of an arc shape and then loop it over and color it in. And then on top of this, we're going to draw these 2 arc shapes. Almost like I always think of thumbs with that shape, but it's just kind of an arc. And now we're going to do the same exact thing because Zentangle is about doing the same stroke over and over again. So we're going to come out of these little loops and do the same exact thing. So we're drawing 2 stems, and I did it in both areas, and then we're going to kind of give it that little arc with a little rounded shape on the edges, coloring those in, going nice and slow and relaxed, and then we're going to give it these 2 roundish shapes. And let's do this again over here. And any way you do it is just fine. Don't try to do it exactly like me. And you're just going to keep growing this until we fill up this section. So nice and slow, let's do that again. Focusing on each stroke. Each stroke is deliberate and on purpose, and they can go all different directions. Now watch this. I'm going to holly bow this. And what's holly bow is just connecting but going underneath, never going over. And I'm even actually curving it a little bit because I feel like it. And as Maria and Rick would say, I do it because I can. And that's what I love about Zentangle. You can do anything that feels right to you or feels good to you. And you notice I'm going right over the border because that's perfectly fine. The pencil is just a suggestion. And you can even add another one. I'm going to add another one over here. So let your inner artist come through and just don't think about it. Just draw. Let the pen do what it wants to do. And notice how it feels on the paper as you draw each stroke. Each stroke is deliberate. Each stroke wants your undivided attention. So make sure your thoughts are just focused on what you're doing, not worrying about what it looks like. We let go of the outcome and we just focus on drawing this pattern however we want to draw it. Remembering to breathe in and out. Now watch this. You see how you don't have to do one off of each one of these rounded shapes. You can do one off of both of them, which is what I'm going to do right now. It's just an option. So listen to your music. Now I'm going to holly bow this one too. I'm going to come out a little bit and through. So holly bow is a pattern and one of the most popular original patterns in Zentangle. And holly bow is all about going underneath. So we use that term as an adjective, like we're going to holly bow it, or is that a verb? I don't even know. We're going to holly bow it. So it's just kind of a term taken from the pattern holly bow. So if you have some nice soft music, put that on if you haven't already. And it should be real slow, relaxing music that helps us to slow down. It helps our brain to slow down. Or you might just want just a nice quiet room. That's okay too. So I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to have you just tangle along with me, focusing on each stroke, relaxed and breathing. So try to slow it down, nice and slow. The slower we go, the slower our minds will our minds will slow down, and the slower our minds are, it will be able to kind of get clear and relax, and your whole body will start to relax. And when we relax, our health improves. Blood pressure comes down, stress goes away, our minds are clearer, solutions to problems arise because our minds are clear. We have more joy, and when we have more joy, our health improves. So whenever you do Zentangle, my suggestion is to always go nice and slow and relaxed, focusing on each stroke. And if this is your first time doing ZenTen, then you might not know that on the 5th day we do our shading. So each day you'll get a new pattern to fill in, working on the same tile. We call it a tile in Zentangle. And that's because in a class we put them all together and make a mosaic afterwards. But in our case, we have a Facebook page, and at the end you can post a copy of what you've done on the Facebook page. But that's on Friday, or the 5th day that you do this. And for shading, all you need is a pencil and a tortillon or a blending stick that looks like that. And a Q-tip is fine too, but that's not until day 5. So it's so important that we just really let go of the outcome, because once we shade this, it's going to look so different. And every day it's going to look different when we add a different pattern to it. And of course, you can always continue to work on what you learned today or what you started. You can keep adding to the pattern. You might want to add some embellishments to it, or maybe more holly boughs, meaning, just do something like this, going through. And the name of the patterns are always in the description. So you can Google these patterns, just put the word tangle after the pattern name, and you'll find lots of variations and the step outs, which is the instructions to it, and you can get some other ideas on how to have fun with this pattern. And all I ask is that you give this video a thumbs up, and make sure you're subscribed to my Zentangle channel. My YouTube channel. And feel free to forward the links to all your friends all over the world that might be interested in doing this. So the name of this pattern is Pendrills, and again it will be in the description so you can see how it's spelled. And thank you for tangling with me today. Keep tangling and enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow.